Hey guys, Mark here. This is actually like a couple months after the Camino at this point. I've just started getting to the editing process. I had such a busy summer. This is gonna be a little bit different. So here's the situation. I'll have that written down in my description all the time, but the Camino I went with my dad, 76 years old, and Evelyn, who's 86. And there's gonna be a few things different. So because I'm walking with people, I never ever want my shooting to interfere with the actual experience for them. So, I mean, that's my thing, right? So there's not that much time when I'm speaking. You know, I do every so often, especially after a couple weeks, I would like just drop back and monologue about something that happened, you know, just talk. Let my dad and Evelyn get ahead. Another thing is I'm editing this on my phone as I run off on some more adventures. I'll be away from my laptop. I'm not going to bring my laptop with me. So things will look a little bit different. But for some reason I didn't even do an intro to this. I just have me saying, okay, here we go to the airport. So anyway, hope you enjoy. If you're new to the channel, just checking out Camino, welcome. For people who've watched me, you know. Yeah, anyway, hope you enjoy. Okay, time to go. No backing out now, no nothing. This is exciting but terrifying. Time to go to Europe. Freaking robo bathroom. Well, at least you didn't have to pay for it. It's like something out of a science fiction movie. Like, what is that?
I don't know how to touch.
It's one of those famous intersections with like 6 different ways in Paris, right? And then you got all these history of Paris and a lot of little hotels and stuff. Random, right by the hotel. Mausoleum. Cool. Back then, infant death was a lot more common. 1836, 1840. This is older than most of the things I know in my country, like 98%. Spent all day in the cemetery. It's something else, man. $13 beers. I might have just paid $35 for supper, but this place The city is awesome. Sheesh. This is so cool. Well, I wanted to came up here so we could get around it, but I feel like we have to go down to that pool. It's really nice. This is insane. Now the dam. Insane. Oh, look at the boats down here. Jesus. The locks. Showing up everywhere. Finally, Eiffel Tower.
You got a picture of the same? Okay.
Trees are just covered in engravings. Like every one of them. Jesus. So many. Beautiful building from 600 years before I was born. Ho hum. It wasn't a cheap continental breakfast, but such wonderful pastries. Yeah, not bad. All right, we're heading off.
Oh.
Heading off on the Camino. You know, building beside it, pretty normal. Building beside it, pretty normal. 1898. Just.
Oh, the crib, isn't it?
Oh yeah. There's a tiny little building too. On top of the train station, where all the trains are ripping around below, got a garden. This is one of the few times I can monologue. So, I'm doing this trip with my dad, who's 76, and his lady, who's 86. I don't know how much I'll put them in the video. I don't generally do that with my YouTube. Leave it to Paris to put an attraction on top of a train station. Yeah. Oh, Paris is awesome. It's overwhelming, but it's totally awesome. Anyway, yeah, super cool. Yesterday, of course, was like a 26-hour day, you know, for me. But just walking around Paris, it just keeps you awake. It's just so massively stimulating and amazing. Super cool stuff. So yeah, I can't monologue too much, like I said. I'll try not to make this too much like a vlog, travel log, but hey man, I just like to share, and it's already been pretty awesome, right? It really has. Man, that was an awesome train ride from Bayonne to Saint-Jean-de-Pied-de-Port. So scenic. Those guys are definitely portering. There's no way they're dragging those things 800 kilometers. in addition to their backpack. See, and it's the shell.
Yeah.
So shallow. Oh, I know where I'm going for a late night walk after supper.
If you go too far, you have to come back. So you make a line with other people. But tomorrow there's very few people.
Look at that. This is something that I had never seen. And it's in English. It basically just says, you know, these are dogs guarding the sheep and don't pet the dogs. They might actually think of you as a threat. And they're big ass dogs. So it's generally true of almost any dog that's doing a job. You know, go pet them. It's like the ones that are blind, right? Or leading the blind. Cool. I'm going for a nice morning walk before I go meet my dad and Evelyn for breakfast. So what we're doing is after, you know, it took us 2 days to fly, and then we took a day on the train. And now we're taking a day off in Saint-Jean-de-Pont, or Saint-Jean-de-Pied, I forget the name right now. Yeah, just to kind of situate ourselves. That was always the plan. Turns out the weather today is crap, so people who are trying to climb over the Pyrenees right now, you know, probably about an hour into their hike already, it's not a good idea. Watch the movie The Way, where his son dies on the first day because he just went climbing up in the crap. You know, like, just, you might have to spend a day or two here. It's just a safety thing. It's the only place you really have to, as far as I know, at least. But as far as Corona, you know, wear your masks. Been wearing them anytime you go inside, and that's pretty standard now around the world in a lot of places. Anytime you're inside, or if there's a lot of people roaming the streets, then we put them on, all right? So obviously in the train and the plane, in the restaurants, but the restaurants, the patio, you can just shed it as soon as you get to your table. And in the alberges, basically asking us to have them on for the most part all the time. When we, oh, it's so nice here. I'll turn the camera on in a second. When you get to your bunk, you can take it off. And the alberges are only allowed to have half capacity right now. Unless people are together, then they can sleep in the same bunk, you know, top and bottom. Oh my God, I am in the south of France on a leisurely stroll. Weather sucks, but it doesn't matter. It is still gorgeous. This is so cool. One thing about this town is it's in a walled city. You can see where the wall was. And that's pretty cool. Stop the invaders. Missions for today. I want to go get our pilgrim passport. I want to buy a shell. And I'll consider buying a blanket. You know, I wasn't sure whether to bring something or not. I said something to the guy running the alberge, and he did go and dig up a blanket, but he said he couldn't all the time because, of course, they have to wash them all now because of COVID. So he gave me a blanket, but they can't just constantly give everyone blankets because it's just the way it is. So I didn't bring a sleeping bag, so maybe I'll try to like Pamplona without one and see how it works. I mean, it's not cold. It really isn't. It's really just the comfort of having the blanket on top of you. And if I can get better sleep, might be worth it. One thing too that's going on is I'm having some problems with jet lag. I mean, last night I woke up and just felt like I was just lying awake most of the night, but at least I'm generally, you know, I'm pretty capable at functioning without a lot of sleep, or at least not a lot of REM sleep, so. whatever, you know, that'll just fix itself with some time. One more thing, or I forget, I am keeping track of everything with an app called Trail Wallet, and we'll talk about how much all this cost me, so that you guys get a general. I'm not going the cheapest. I'm using private albergues a lot of the time, so that's more expensive. And I'm going out to dinner a lot with my parents, so also more expensive. Well, my dad and Evelyn, right? But yeah, so it's in the cheapest way. Just checking out if I'm allowed to go down there. The cheapest way is to go to the municipal albergues and then just cook for yourself. But I'm not gonna do that, so. It's the first time I've actually stopped and read one of these signs, and it's in 4 languages. English, French, Spanish, and I think, I don't know what that is, Basque? Maybe it's Basque. But it's quite interesting, and it seems to basically say that this bridge was built in the 17th century, and I've seen cars driving over it. Cars can still drive over this thing. How did they build things so well back then? It's amazing. I just finished walking a trail in Canada that dates back to 1830, and that's like the oldest thing in Canada I could find. Here, it seems like a building that's 100 years old is just broken in. I'm like, my God. I gotta learn what this means. I'll flash it up on the screen.
Good.
Tuesday, 24, 24, 29 on Thursday.
This orange juice is amazing.
30.
And you have to know that in this hotel only sleep and shower. No possibility to cook. No breakfast, nothing.
What are these terraces?
That's beautiful.
Just loving this wall. It's so much higher here than anywhere else. Beautiful, beautiful town. It wouldn't always stop raining on us.
Here is Pied, Saint-Jean-Pied de Pont.
Just a random kitty riding around on a guy's back. That is awesome. How many times did he get clawed trying to teach that cat to do that? After talking to the Pilgrim office, my dad and Evelyn are still going to take the Valley Way to Val Carlos tomorrow, primarily because there's a hotel there. They just don't want to stay in a hostel, plain and simple. But they've also figured out that it's mostly along a road, and we kind of figured out that, you know, that they said, oh, if you want to go the normal way up the Pyrenees, then go ahead. So I'm going to Orison tomorrow, and it's pretty nice with, you know, the owner here. He heard that, and next thing you know, he gets on the phone and calls them just to make sure that A, they're open because COVID, and B, that they have place for me. So pretty awesome, right? One thing we tried to do today was buy SIM cards, but you know, you can't get them. I mean, it's a SIM card for France. Right, so as soon as we leave France, they're no good. Can't get them till you get to Pamplona, so That's good to know. No phone calls till Pamplona. I think they're supposed to be singing, but they also just look very, very shocked to be there.